Glad to have you back on the show this Friday morning. And now it's time for us to discuss. Now, there's several topics trending from the issue of ASUU strike, the lingering ASUU strike, students' protest, the federal government having to revoke ASUU's registration certificate, and all of those things trending, plus the issue that has been trending for days now, the case of the woman who had an information that her husband was seen with a side chick, and then she entered into her car and in a hot chase, and then she had an accident. Sadly, she lost her life. We'd love for you to call in and share your thoughts on this conversation. The number is 0805-902-0078. I'll take that again, 0805-902-0078. Well, joining us to make sense of all of these trending topics, aside something, there is my partner in not in crime, in discussions and conversations, in everything good. Now we have Choma Amaregulam and Samuel Ukata. Good morning, Choma. Good morning, Samuel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm fine, thank you. And aside the calling, we'd love for you to share your thoughts on the live stream and all our social media platform. Number again is 0805-902-0078. So Choma and Samuel, and with the ASUU strike that's been trending, the federal government now, the issue assessing the impact on students and parents and possible solutions is 7 months and counting. And a semester is 3 months, two semesters, let's say aside the breaks, is like 6 months, and now it's more like one semester. A whole session has been lost, and students are on strike. So I don't know the possible solutions. It doesn't seem like the federal government is having to see the brighter future, or the members of ASUU, they are saying we've compromised so much. We've signed MOUs before now. We kept to our side of the agreement. The federal government didn't keep to their part, and now we're not going to compromise any further until all the needs, when they say all, from top to bottom, are being met. So I would like for you to share your thoughts. Chima, what do you think?
So the truth is, we all know that even apart from the students being held back, we also have some postgraduates, some graduates who are also being held back. We have issues of people who, yes, they are done with their 5 years or 4 years in school, but then they've not done their clearance. And now they can't even move on with their lives. They can't even go for youth service. Why? Because there's no one to help them with their clearance, no one to sign their files in school and all that. So they are also affected. So the students have been affected. Those who have graduated are also affected as well. We all know that the possible solution to this is just a compromise. But ASUU and the federal government just need to come together and agree.
A compromise from who? ASUU or federal government? That's Samuel.
Well, I don't really think the federal government is not really interested in the education of these individuals, the youths. They are actually interested, but I think there is something that the federal government don't want to come out to
all right.
say.
Samuel, first, before you go, we have a caller calling in to your thoughts. Oh, we lost that caller there. Well, please do well to call 0805-902-0078 is the number. Another caller calling in, please. Okay. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from, please?
My name is John. I am calling from Edo State.
All right, John, thank you. Good morning. All right, please, can you reduce the noise in your background? It's a bit noisy, John, if you can hear us.
Yes, I want to quickly talk on the issue of ASUU strike.
All right.
Okay.
It is obvious that what we're going through in this country today is very pathetic. Why are students at home? Why are children, our brothers and sisters at home? The politicians are all over the places trying to combat for votes, doing everything to ensure that there is election in this country, but they are not doing anything to ensure that our children, our brothers and sisters return back to school. And I think with you today, notice that even when this strike is called off, that most of the students will not return back to school because some of them are going to learn trade, some of them are not married, some of them are aborted their education because of the fact that over 7 months that they have been at home. Some of them are not indulging in criminal activities that they ought not to have been indulging. Why
All
And it's not good for us.
All right.
Please.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much, John. Thank you so much. That was John from Edo State, and well, sharing your thought. Please do also call in 0805-902-0078. Samuel, you were saying something before the caller.
Yes, I actually, the caller told my line anyway before, you told me to hold on. I was about saying that it is not as if the government isn't interested in the education of this youth. I don't just want to outrightly say that. But it's just that the government have a whole lot of things they don't want to, let out of the bag, so to speak, while they have been in and out of agreement with ASUU. It is just something best known to them. But I feel that the federal government knows quite all right that elections are around the corner. And you know how expensive our campaigns and election matters is. In fact, somebody told me that our election is the most expensive in the world, considering how much these politicians spend just to see themselves in, into the government and have these offices of government. At the same time, unfortunately, though, it's actually jeopardizing the education of our youth, because they are invariably saying that all of this will have to be put on hold until the elections are over. Because come to think of it, if they dole out this money for these lecturers to go back to classes, where is the government going to get money?
But does it even make...
Just a moment. Where would the government get money to run their election? I'm not on the side of the government, but I know these things are just what I call deliberate, tactics. They are just what I call just a way to, not to make people see this, the intention of the government towards not trying to meet the agreement of this ASUU. And I understand why ASUU is going, or have already embarked on going, to the court, because these things cannot or be allowed to continue.
Well, it wasn't even ASUU that went to the court. It was the federal government that took ASUU to court and asking the call of the strike. Well, and ASUU had to plead. If I'm correct,
they had to
appeal for that. But then you mentioned something. The elections are fast approaching, and the government doesn't want to take out that money. But before now, this is not even a thing of now. Before the election, it's been lingering. They had signed MOU in 2009.
Yes.
2020, yeah, and they kept signing MOU, and then we didn't even have general elections at that point, so we didn't even say it's a money. But then education security.
But you should know elections are planned far before.
No, even before that, the education security and what's it called again? Well, education security are top priority for the government. So you have to prioritize your elections over educational system that will build in the development of the average child that we are supposed to be leaders of tomorrow. Well, let me even get Samson's thoughts on this first.
Well, I think quickly, the new twist to this issue won't even help matters. Talking about federal government's attempt to, revoke the certificate of registration of ASUU. Yes, if ASUU is found wanting when it comes to revealing its financial, reports for audited accounts over the last 5 years, then it should be punished by the law, because no one is above the law. But having said that, if this is an underhand tactic by the federal government just to, have an edge in this, ongoing impasse, then it means that the federal government is not ready to, meet with the demands, and that would lengthen further and complicate these whole, stalled negotiations between federal government and ASUU. Having said that, I want a situation where we have a lasting solution to these issues of industrial action by ASUU. Because if the federal government just comes up with a hush-hush, arrangement just to see through the election period and have students back in classes, then you can be assured that in another year, from now, that we'll have another industrial action by ASUU, and that doesn't solve the issue. The big question remains, why would the federal government keep signing, agreements that it knows it can meet up to in terms of financial terms and conditions? That's one. Two, why all earned, salaries and allowances? Again, this is not even a matter of no work, no payroll, over the last 7 months, but prior to the industrial action by ASUU, the federal government were owing them some earned allowances, and so those are the issues. Remember, you had the electricity workers also embark on a warning strike, for some days, and that was because the federal government was also owing them, among other issues. So the federal government needs to really chart a new course in honoring agreements with its various, labor unions when it comes to you know, their labor terms and agreements and what have you. That's the only way we can sort out this issue of, you know, ASUU. Another way will be for the revitalization of these universities. The federal government needs to, you know, pay in installments, and it has to be, you know, regular. So if ASUU is saying 1.2 trillion naira is needed to revitalize the universities, and the federal government knows quite well and agrees with them that truly that's the amount needed to revitalize their universities, why not pay 200 billion naira over the course of 6 years, which is what ASUU had proposed before. So the whole talks of the federal minister, the Minister of Education, Adamu, or Minister of Employment and Labour, Chris Ngige, you know, having a back and forth won't help matters. If we do not sort it once and for all, we would have another industrial action within the next 12 months.
Well, that's it. Do you have anything else to add, or should you just cross over? But not forget the number is 0805 902 0078, 0805 902 0078. We also call in and share your thoughts on the conversation. We just cross over now to, we have an incoming call there. All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, it's Mr. John still calling.
Okay.
You see, my brother there. There are certain things that we should not put forth right now as we speak in this country.
Okay.
Is the federal government just realizing the fact that there are corruption issues in ASUU as an association or as an organization? Is it because they are demanding for certain things now that the federal government is pushing for investigation and wanting to do certain things that will truncate what they are asking for? What ASUU is asking for, is it germane? If it is germane, then let the federal government begin to look at those issues and forget about the fact that ASUU has not done this in the past many years and they have not done all that. That is not the issue that we are talking about right now. Federal government should look for a way to fix and sort out the agreement they made with ASUU. Then ASUU themselves should also have conscience. They should have human face to this issue by looking at how they can relate to the federal government to find a common ground around the issue so that our students can go back to school. People are suffering. Students who are supposed to have graduated by the end of this year, they will no longer graduate. We are giving them an extension for what is not thought of theirs. This is bad. This is demonic. This is barbaric. This is outrageous.
Okay.
We should begin to tell the truth. We should begin to tell ourselves the truth by the faith. Now we are talking about the increase of dollar as against naira depreciation on a daily basis. And the educational sector is also contributing because some of these people, they want to go abroad to study. And when they are doing that, they are doing exchange of naira and dollar. So federal government should think beyond what they are saying now. They should call us to a round table. They should put a human face to this whole issue, look at it very well, and how they can be able to shift ground and have a resolution at the end of the day. Let our brothers and sisters return back to school. That is our interest. In fact, they should take this issue more seriously than they are taking the 2023 election. They are pushing elections and our children are at home. And they will come back giving them 5,000 naira to go and vote for them. Is that good? Is that a good development?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thank you so much, Mr. John, for sharing your thoughts on that. Well, he just said a lot of things. I could sense the passion, and you know, from his conversations or from his statements, it's more about the elephant fighting and the grass suffering, irrespective of what's happening between the federal government and academic staff union of universities. The students are at home. A lot of the students now they have, you know, anything that concerns school, some of them may not even want to hear about it anymore. Irrespective, the government should look for a way to reach a common ground, and understanding that they would keep to not has all the other understandings had gone over time. Now let's go over to the next topic, the issue that happened with the side chick. Well, the husband, the wife having a call that she saw. Someone told her she saw your husband somewhere, and then she went into a hot chase that resulted in the loss of her life. That's a tragic event now, and a lot of persons would say that probably it would have been handled
better,
differently. Some persons would say the husband would have just noticed, the wife had seen them, there was no point running. And now the interesting part was that the side chick when he noticed, when they noticed it was an accident, she alighted on the car. She's nowhere to be found right now. So the wife lost her life, left the children behind, and the husband is obviously going to be mourning his wife with the side chick nowhere in sight. So the number is still 0805 902 0078. Something, I'll start with you.
Well, it's a sad incident, you know. It's sad because she lost her life. But again, you know, it also raises several questions. Why should there be infidelity in the first place? Yeah. That's one. Two, over time, you've heard, you know, folks say that even when you have issues, you know, you catch your husband, your spouse now, you know, with a side piece, you do not confront the side piece. You confront, you know, your spouse rather, because that's whom you have a vow with and you have, you know, it dealing with, not, you know, trying to go after the side chick or anything. Now, from the story, we do not know if she was trying to go, you know, for the side chick, but we just know she gave a hot chase and that led to loss of life. So you want to look at the loss of life, the impact it will have on the children who are now motherless. For the husband, I mean, someone who could cheat blatantly like that will probably not be remorseful despite, you know, the loss of his wife. It probably, again, it's probably, it will probably, you know, after a short while of mourning, continue with his life, and that may mean remarrying or probably having more side chicks as it were. I think at the end of the day, the way we react to, you know, issues of hurt, betrayal, you know, infidelity would differ. I know those who would say, oh, why not just go home and wait for him before you confront him? Why give a hot chase and all? At the end of the day, there's really no, you know, one-way street to how people react to issues like this. It's just unfortunate she lost her life, and I hope that the children and, you know, the children especially get good care.
Well, children may never forgive their father, knowing that he was, as a matter of fact, he's a principal cause. But now the question I want to ask is, the person who gave out the information.
Exactly what I was
because I've had an incident like this. I saw a friend's boyfriend in the mall with another girl, and I was wondering, now this is a very good friend of mine, and interestingly the girl he was with is also a good friend of mine too, and they don't even know each other. It just coincided that I was friends with both of them. And now the thing is, it wasn't a wise decision to call and say, I saw your boyfriend. I love this person, I love my friends. I know the guy is in a relationship with my other friend, and he's deceiving this other friend that is single. So I was in the, but the thing is, was that applying wisdom was where I was looking at, should I have done that? Should I call to, well, as a matter of fact, I had to look for a way to tell them that, you know, this guy is not so straight. But imagine I was the one who called the wife, and she went into that hot chase and she died. As a friend, would I even forgive myself? So do you think it's wise for married couples to see your spouse, your friend's spouse with someone else, whether a man or a woman, and you call and say, I saw your spouse somewhere? Do you think that is necessary, or there's a need to mind your business, or the business that pays you in that sense?
So because because it is your friend we're talking about now, I feel you should always look after your friends. Yeah?
At the detriment of her happiness.
But then there's a way to go about it. I don't think she made the best decision by calling her and saying, I saw your husband in the mall with her. What were you expecting her to do? Of course, she'd be mad. She would want to go there and, like, you know, fight or something. Yeah. But then she should have left it at that. They probably, when they see some other time, when they're trying to, like, hanging out or something, you can tell her face to face that, babe, this was what happened. How has things been at home? What's been happening? I think, you know, because I saw your husband with a lady some time back. I don't know if something is going on. Maybe you just have a discussion with your husband. She would have put it that way than just calling her and saying, as she even gave her the location. And no, now what we're expecting to happen, of course, she would have even if she didn't die, it would also be a form of embarrassment. Yeah. You understand? Because people would bring out their phones and they would, you know, record all that scene, and it wouldn't have gone down well. So she should have instead of calling her immediately, she should have just calmed down or found a better way to tell her friends that her husband was cheating on her. You understand? That's what I feel. Yeah.
Tell me, sorry.
All right. For me, I might not just be very quick to take that kind of action, because whatever action you take can either help that marriage or break that marriage. For me, I'll be a little bit slow. Even if I see a guy with a side chick, I don't even know what both of them have in common. You didn't meet them in a hotel for you to just think that something is going on wrong. You saw him with somebody. If you're not too comfortable with both of them sitting together because you're a friend to him and you're a friend to the wife, in fact, your family friend, what you should do is watch that situation and see where it leads to or where it ends to if you have that patience. And if it's going towards a line that you're not comfortable with, for the fact that you love this person and you love the wife and you want them to always remain together as husband and wife, call the man to say, you know what, I saw you with so and so person. I don't know your relationship with that person, so I don't want to be quick to assume or presume that you're having something strange with this girl. What do you have with her? Let him explain to you, oh, it's my friend, or we've been friends even before I met my wife, and I just decided that, for the fact that we saw for the first time after a long time, I just felt that, okay, let me give her a treat. Let him explain to you what he's dealing with that girl is all about, so that you know whatever. Even if he's lying, he's not even in your position to quickly run to the wife to say, this is what is happening.
Well, you know, in so that is a scenario that makes sense for someone who you're not sure is cheating. But I do not think a lady would just, no matter how irrational she thinks, would just jump out when you hear. See, that's the way you could trust your spouse. That's where you trust your spouse. Sorry, excuse me.
Okay.
That's where you trust your spouse. That even if I'm told, I saw your spouse, your husband somewhere, I'm like, okay, probably he's hanging out with a few friends, because I trust him. He has opened up to me that I have, personally, I have a lot of male friends. That doesn't mean I have anything to do. So I'm able to tell my spouse, this is my friend. He knows a couple of my friends. I know a couple of her friends. But when someone is a chronic cheat, so it probably there may have been situations before now that has triggered that reaction, suspicions and all of that.
And even if there are no situations that triggered that, the woman might have had this experience maybe in a past relationship of trust issues, so she might be finding it difficult to handle that. So what you should do in that situation is help her or save her out of that stress. Don't rush to her immediately, even though we know you're trying to help both.
For the want of time, we have a caller, quick one there. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that caller there, sadly. The numbers are still on your screen, but we don't have too much time. Samson, let me get your thoughts.
Well, it's dicey, as I said. So when you deal with someone who is a chronic cheat, again, you would want to ask the question, if you know he's a chronic cheat, should you still react that way? It's not like it's a first or second or third.
People can be jealous. They handle jealousy differently.
That's what I said initially, that the way we react to things differ. It's not a one-way street where everyone just has to be, clogged up into that, lane. So the wife reacted the way she knew best. Unfortunately, it led to her demise. Again, my thoughts are not even with, how it played out or how it should have played out. I'm more concerned about the children at this point in time, because we can't cry over spilled milk. It's been spilled already. It's about the children. They may be very young, and they probably just have to live their lifetime without their mothers. So it's all about ensuring that those kids have adequate care at this point in time. It's also a lesson to everyone, that when you get some news that are not so pleasant, you try as much as possible, to take a pause. It can be challenging. I know it's easier said than done. There's that impulsive, need to just react immediately. But
all right,
let's just
quickly. We have a caller. This is our last caller for the day. Good morning. Thank you for calling. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Please, what's your name?
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we don't have so much time. Well, thank you so much for calling in, respective, and all of you who had called. We appreciate. We do have to join us next time. Choma Samuel, thank you so much. And at this point, we leave it here. We draw the curtain here with a quote from Malala, and this quote says, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." A big thank you to all the viewers, the callers, and all of you who had been with us from Monday till date, and the production crew. Thank you so much. We appreciate. My name is Margaret Opara. Do have an amazing weekend.
And I'm Samson Lady. Do have a great weekend.